even though he's so good at it. I mean, Mr. Freeze notwithstanding. I mean, come on, like the Terminator. That's what I'm talking about. So the studio was left with a quandary of, well, we want to have Arnold in this movie, but he doesn't want to be a bad guy anymore. So they made a good Terminator, and it worked. It was neat, you know. And they managed to create menace in the second Terminator in an entirely different way. I mean, the guy who played the new evil Terminator was not big, not physically frightening, but just how he acted and how your expectations of somebody that looking like that were so subverted made that brilliant, made it work. And, you know, there's just enough badass moments in that movie that, I mean, it's one of those movies that works on so many different levels. It works as an action thriller. Like, you could turn off your brain and enjoy the movie, but you can also leave your brain on and enjoy the movie even more, which is what is so great about movies like that. And that is something that is missing in almost every action movie these days. I mean, pretty much the Batman trilogy is the only thing that's come out in the last 10 years that has managed to do action movies that are still, like, good. I mean, good as movies, you know? Not just turn off your brain, mindless action things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these uppity bastards who says, oh, those movies are no good. There's a place for turn off your brain, mindless action movies. I enjoy those from time to time, you know? But when that's all that there is, then that's when it gets annoying. Let's make this barn historical barn, even as we demolish the rest of this field. So, yes. I'm not sure if I had a point to this whole spiel, but yeah, Terminator, great movie. Terminator 2, great movie. If you haven't seen those movies, why are you watching Let's Plays? Go watch those movies. That's all I'm trying to say. So, I think I was talking about Tom Hanks at one point. Not sure how we got all the way over here, but yep, Tom Hanks, one of my favorite actors. Why name the city after him? We all know. You all know that. You probably knew that already. Right. For your homework class. Since I've been... Whoa. I wanted to rotate the building, not the screen. Let's see. There we go. Whoa. Yeah. Alright. Since I have been told by multiple people that I should be more interactive in my videos, which I agree with, to be honest, I am announcing audience participation time. Audience, your task, should you choose to accept it, and by the bylaws of the Bone Canoe channel, you are required to accept it. People of the chat, please tell me in the comments who is your favorite actor and what was your favorite thing that he was in. I'm curious. Yes, I am very curious too. What? Anyway, you know what I said. Put your favorite in the comments, because I want to see. I want to know. Oh man. One thing that I like to do is, I like the Confused Matthew approach to reviewing things in a way where I like to basically only mainly talk about things that either everyone likes and I don't, or everyone doesn't like and I do. I mean, okay, I said that after gushing about Terminator, which about everyone loves Terminator. There's pretty much no one out there who says Terminator is bad. And there's almost no one out there who says that SimCity 2013 is good. I mean, if they do, they don't count. But I just find it more fun to defend something that nobody likes. So I get to do that and be topical right now because many of you might have heard about the recent death of Lou Reed. If you don't know who Lou Reed is, he was one of the most influential musicians in rock and like 10 other genres in the second half of the 20th century, since the 60s, I think. And I personally don't know too much about his music, to be completely and utterly honest with you. I've only heard little snippets here and there, but there is one thing he did that I absolutely love that everybody else hates. Back in the 70s, I believe it was, he was under some sort of contractual obligation to make an album, and he absolutely didn't want to do it for these people. He was just fed up. I don't know the exact story, but basically he didn't want to do it, but he had to. So he decided to make an album called, what was it called? It's like Noise from Electric Machines or something like that. And basically what the whole thing was just recordings of feedback from various machines in the recording studio. And just like he intended, everybody hated it. It didn't sell. And everyone hated it, except it accidentally sort of started its own musical genre of noise music. But that's besides the point. Well, I know that's entirely the point, because everyone hates it, but I freaking love it. Like, this is something, no lie, that I will listen to relax before bed. Just all that, because that's one thing I like in music is noise. Noise in music, like between songs or in songs. Speaking of music with noise in it, one example that you might be familiar with is the Led Zeppelin song Whole Lotta Love. The whole middle section where it gets all, there's that drum pattern, then there's all that thunder and everything. It's a pretty well-known segment of noise. Or, better yet, one of my favorite songs of all time, from King Crimson's first album, 21st Century Schizoid Man. That same song that Kanye West has ripped off, or has sampled, I should say. That same song, which, by the way, is probably also one of the best songs ever made, and it helped launch. That song was pretty much the birth of heavy metal, right there in that song in 1969. I mean, just listen to it. You can hear Black Sabbath in that song. You can hear. When that song launched heavy metal, it launched progressive rock, and it at least had some sort of influence on some sort of experimental jazz, because that's in there too. It's quite a song. But anyway, the end of the song, the climax, it just builds up to this frenzy, and there's just this climax of absolute noise, and it's awesome. It is just so kick-ass, man. So, and my personal favorite example is for my favorite album of all time, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from Genesis, my favorite band of all time, and their song, The Waiting Room, second song on the second half of the album, the third side. It just sort of begins with these tinkling sounds, and then there's all this, basically the different band members are just making sounds with various stuff that they had around the studio, I guess, and with their instruments. And it was just awesome. It's creepy. It almost has this claustrophobic feel to it. And it's just amazing. It's just really good. And a lot of people don't like it, but a lot of people are stupid, so, those are some of the examples of noise in music. But yes, Lou Reed, sad to hear that he went. His influence is undeniable. But such is life, I guess, Not everyone lives forever. No one lives forever, really, Except me. But, we're not going to get into that. That's a secret I said I wouldn't tell. Yeah, you didn't hear that. Oh, man. But anyway, this city is coming along quite nicely. I probably should check on those schools. They probably have way too many students. Alright, elementary school. Let's make sure you are right. And, okay. By the way, one other thing that I thought would be worth mentioning in this video, just for the sake of mentioning it, is that I am no longer a Wawa person. You might recall me saying that I worked at a Wawa. Well, I no longer do. I have jumped ship for reasons that I will not get into, and I now work for the competitor. In a way, I now work for Starbucks. That's right. I am a Starbucks guy now. I don't think I'm going to tell you which one it is, except other than that it is in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which narrows it down to like 100 or something, so that's not really telling too much. But that's where I am. I am at Starbucks now. So, I definitely am happy to be at a place that loves their coffee, because I love my coffee. When I don't have my coffee, life is not good. We'll just say that. And then have 3 seconds of menacing silence afterwards to drive the point home. That silence was really menacing. I scare myself sometimes. Alright, now our quest is to join up the 2 segments of track. Originally I was content just to let it end here, but now I desire for the track to continue, and I'm thinking we could have the track go under this. That shouldn't be a problem, or shan't, if you want to be old-fashioned about it, if anyone actually ever did speak that way, which, now that I think about it, is quite dubious of a claim. Okay. Oops, maybe we'll go one too far out. Far out, man. What city's over here? Frisky-topia, what the heck? Lol. I make funny sounding cities sometimes, don't I? Alright, so my idea is to connect the rail to Frisky-topia. Yay, what an idea. You're a Frisky-topia. I am a doofus. A dolt. A dingbat. A ding-dong. Oh man, so let's put that there. And I have not used that mod for a while, but such times call for it. All right. So here we have it. Here is our little hole. And we are going to measure out where it will come out, which is here. So let's grab the 14 down tool. Again, there we go. Oh man. So if my calculations are correct, we should be able to just drag it through. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna shank a bitch. I warned you, I haven't had any coffee today, so bitch shanking is an entirely possible scenario. Alright. That worked. I'm happy. So what we are going to do is do that. Well, it's kind of funny. Speaking of shanking, well, a great transition to anything, but that has become one of my verbal tics in the last year or so. I mean, I'm the kind of person who my verbal tics change throughout the years. I don't say the same thing all the time, you know? When I was like 15, for whatever reason, I kept using the word unpleasant, like, oh, that was unpleasant, wasn't it? Or, that was mighty unpleasant. And, now I say shank. I'm gonna shank this person. And, like, even when I am playing a game where somebody gets stabbed with a sword, sometimes I'm like, oh, that guy got shanked, you know? And I don't sound badass whatsoever when I say it, but I still say it. Yes, and I know I have various other verbal tics, many of which have been commented on by you, lovely commenters, and I always like that when people pick up on these things, because sometimes I don't even pick up on what I'm saying. We're often blind to ourselves and what we sound like to others. And it's great and educational to learn. Alright, so we're going to we're going to try to mirror this pattern over there too, in a way. So yes, I am happy that we are having a rail that is going to go across this entire city now.